and we're push the record on that camera.
Okay.
It's right there at the back, or right there on the window at the lower little red dot on the lower part of the window.
Oh,
right there on the thing. There we go.
There it is.
Okay, that's recording.
Yes.
We're recording.
We are recording.
We should be, and we're live on YouTube.
Woohoo!
Okay, hang on. We're gonna. Hey guys. Hey, we're live. We got a few things to do here, real quick. Hey guys. Oh, look, I can see it in the background. Hey, welcome. We're just gonna leave it up there. Welcome back to Our2Sense with Paul and John. I'm John, and this is our second streaming deal.
I'm Paul, and we're live.
Wait a minute here.
Woo!
And this is episode number 66, or is it 67? It may be 67, our second live stream. I may have to edit that anyway. So, Paul, what are we talking about today? Oh, yeah, this is podcast number 67.
Okay.
Wait a minute, and this is podcast number 66, just in case. I had to cover both of them. So, Paul, what you got on the table today?
Today, I was watching Mark Zuckerberg testify before Congress about the Cambridge and Analytica Facebook data. They didn't hack it. They got it legally and used it apparently he must have said the word Russia like 6 times in that testimony. So I think he realizes that he's very smart. He's going to put all the blame on Russia for what happened. Yeah. And he did say, it was very interesting, one of the senators asked him, about their agreements with different companies, and he said, we just treat any advertiser on Facebook the same as any other advertiser on Facebook. So when an advertiser places an ad on Facebook, then they get the analytics for who's clicking on those ads, who's seeing those ads, and that kind of thing. So I think it's very interesting to see Mark Zuckerberg now is, definitely grown up, and he is I thought he did an excellent job of keeping his composure while he was under the questioning from the senators about this issue, because it's a big issue, about privacy.
Even if Russia wanted to, they literally could just simply go and purchase television advertising, set up a shell corporation here in the U.S., funnel whatever they want through that. I mean, yeah, Facebook is a little more direct, but they could do the same thing. And there would just be advertising. Now, if they purchased ads, just like, I mean, for all we know, Russia's behind the NRA, and a bunch of other things, because, they can funnel their money anywhere they want. You're supposed to report where it comes from, but all they have to do is set up a Cayman Island, throw the money in Cayman Islands, then throw the money into an LLC somewhere in the United States, and then pump it in. And then it says, okay, so, I don't know that Facebook is to blame any more than would be NBC to blame if they ran ads from a company that said that they, liked this person and hated that person or whatever it is. It's ridiculous to think Mark Zuckerberg is...
Well, yeah, and ridiculous to think that someone high up in a company like that really knows what's going on down in the trenches, as it were. That was the thing. They kept asking him, well, how did you deal with... And he kind of was like, I don't have that information, because he is an executive in the company. So some little peon down there in the trenches are the one who actually sold the ads and listed the ads, and then got the data and I guess gave the data to this company that used it. So I mean, it's a very interesting thing. I think we're going to see some definite legislation come out of this around privacy issues, because they were talking about, and we were talking about this earlier, that the terms of service, it's all listed in the terms of service. That they have your data. Once you sign up, you agree to the terms of service, then that means they own that data about your Facebook habits, what you look at, what you subscribe to, all that stuff. But who reads that? I mean,
Well,
nobody reads those.
Nobody
huge
reads all the
legal documents because, unfortunately, and I fall into this.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I am a easy target because I have faith, or my blind or stupid faith, that someone is not going to, you know, use my data for nefarious purposes. So I'm just happily going along, you know, on Facebook, exactly. Isn't this fun? Isn't this nice? Oh, look at this pretty picture of a very hot man. I like that.
Well, here's the problem. People have been collecting that data forever. All kinds of companies did it. Yeah. You know, the Nielsen companies did it. Right. They magazines, and there's a company out there that they pull information from the magazines, who subscribes to you. They pull information from the newspapers, who subscribes. They pull information from the credit card companies, who subscribes. They pull all this, you know, what these people buy. All this information's already out there on you, and other companies are doing it. It does take a lot more to gather all of it than what Facebook has it all available. Right. And they use it that way. But to think that information's not out there, you're stupid. Yeah. You know, and if that's what you're thinking, you know, it just amazes me this. But what they're trying to do, all these questions about it, because, you know, I used to do legal videos, so I you know, talked to the attorneys. They used to tell me all kinds of stuff. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to trap, well, it's going to ring. They're trying to trap, shut up. Shut the fuck up. My phone, sorry guys. That's my that's a landline. No, that's not anybody.
No, not business. Okay.
No, it's a
sales call.
No, it's not. Anyway, so
someone's watching. Russia's watching you, John.
Russia's watching us. Oh my God! Somebody may be calling. My niece may be calling, going, "I see you." Who knows? I can't answer it, doll. I can't answer it, you know, because it's way back there and I'm all tied in here. But anyway,
Mark Zuckerberg is calling you.
Yeah. Oh my God, Mark Zuckerberg. No, who owns Google? Yahoo. Oh, they're not. Yeah. Because that's who owns a YouTube, and so that's where we're on the background. So anyway, there are. Shut up! You can tell it's a sales call. Nobody would hang on for that many rings. So anyway, they're trying to catch him in a trap by him not answering and saying, "I knew nothing of this. I knew nothing of this." Well, then at some point, somebody's going to flag. They're going to find a memo that says, "Yes, he knew everything about it." Right. And then they're going to pull him before, and they're going to say, "You lied. You knew about this. Here's the proof. You know, you knew what they were doing. You were," and you know, that's what they're attempting to do, and that's why they're attempting to get these answers from him. Mark Zuckerberg, he better watch out, because these, you know, this shit is out there. Yeah. These companies, these email company servers, some of these companies have 10 duplicate servers. So your information is on 10 different servers, and then it's all backed up somewhere. You know, and it's all accessible right online. And then as it gets older, you know, the number of servers it's on goes down. But right off the bat, it's on 10 different servers. And all those different servers in the different locations are all backed up somewhere. Yeah. So there's backup of all this shit everywhere. And so it's not gone. It's a matter of finding it. And there are firms who specialize to dig this out, you know. And there are people like, but now my friend Tommy, who's in IT and all that, and you know, our friend Roger, who does IT, knows how to dig this stuff out. They can dig all this stuff out. I mean, it's like, you know, our friend Margie Ruggles, who used to work for Chase Bank, and she would go find the pennies. Yeah. She'd go find the lost, she called them the lost pennies, I think is what she called them. You know, and that's where there would be a penny missing or extra penny added somewhere, and she would go and track down what happened to this, where is it, why did it get in the wrong place, and then she would rectify all this stuff. And I mean, talk about tracking down, you know, in thousands and thousands and thousands of records and cases and accounts, and finding these pennies that are missing. That just fascinated me. I really would like to spend a day with her. But
this is an example of what's really eventually is going to sink Trump, is that he doesn't realize that everything he's ever said and done is on record somewhere. Yep. And apparently he doesn't remember from the past week when he said something on
he doesn't remember from camera. This morning.
Yeah.
He can't remember from day to day.
Him because he keeps saying, you know, he's the best, he knows the most of anybody. He's smarter than his own generals and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's all going to come back to haunt him in the end, and that's the thing. I was seeing here, you know, where he talks about he's the best businessman and all this stuff, but then they're trotting out, you know, how many bankruptcies he's had, how many failed businesses, how many times his businesses have been caught cheating people.
Exactly. And you know, the number of vendors that he hasn't paid. And you know, I don't want to get off on Trump, you know, it's just it's too easy to go that way. Easy. But there's too much ammunition, you know. I mean, that target just gets bigger every day. You can't miss that target with anything. But yeah, it's amazing that this is happening and that this is going on. I'm hoping this audio. I hope y'all hear us. You know, we're recording it. You know, so we'll have a podcast later. And I'm recording here in the studio here. Yep, want to make sure. But you know, it just fascinates me that people don't realize in this day and age that all this shit is out there, and they just assume. And they're all assuming, especially people our age. Right. You know, we're old men. You know, we're old men. You know, and people our age, when there was a time when you could have a little more anonymity. Oh yeah. But you can't any longer. Nope. Because you know, like, you know, if you have the touchless access to your electronic devices, that's your fingerprints. And now your fingerprints are out there, and Apple has them.
Wait, touchless? You don't mean
not touchless, but you mean Touch ID. Touch ID, yeah.
Right, because they do, of course, now have facial recognition software. Yeah. Which is interesting. And what's fascinating about that is I read it can recognize you even with or without glasses. If you have face paint or makeup on, it can recognize you. This is pretty incredible software. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, I mean, we're living in the age of George Orwell's 1984. Yeah. I mean, Big Brother is watching. Yeah.
I will believe in that face recognition thing when it can tell me the difference between identical triplets. When it can identify them individually, the identical triplets, then I'm on board.
I think you'll find, it seems like I saw something about twins that it can recognize difference in twins. I mean, it's very subtle, but that's a good point. It's like, it's pretty amazing. The technology is just, it's mind-boggling. And of course, we know that there's technology out there that we're not even aware of yet, that some little lab is working on. It's like the artificial intelligence, the AI, you know, that like Boston Dynamics and Hanson, what is it, Hanson, that's created that robot woman. Can't remember her name now. It's Sophia or something. I mean, it's just frightening. And that, you know, I just like hope. My favorite author is Isaac Asimov, and I hope that, for goodness sake, they're programming these robots with his 3 laws of robotics, because otherwise,
well, you know they're not. You know they're not, because companies are sitting there going, well, we don't want to limit the robots in case something happens.
This is the problem. This is how we'll all be screwed, because Skynet is coming. And the AI is going to, I mean, the scariest thing I've seen is, you know, they've got this robot, I think it's Boston Dynamics or one of these guys, has developed, you know, this robot that can walk upright, that is artificial intelligence, and it can pick up a box and all this stuff, and they show the lab tech, like the robot picks up the box, the lab tech knocks it out of his hand.
Talked about that before.
The robot goes down, picks it up again, the lab tech kicks the robot over. I mean, this is the guy that will cause the robots to revolt. Exactly. Because they never forget. Robots never forget. And they'll remember this lab guy who kicked them over while they're trying to pick up the box, which is what they've been asked to do. And it's just like, oh my gosh. I mean, it is amazing. This technology, and you know, there's just stuff out there that we're not even aware of.
Well, you know, call me when you can get one to come in and do the dusting and the vacuuming and the washing, and you know, and the laundry, and is able to pick up all my little tchotchkes and dust them and put them back down without breaking.
That's coming.
I don't think it's going to happen in my lifetime.
Well, they're getting close.
They're getting close, but you know.
Well, the thing is, you see now is they developing, and this is the smart thing. They're developing specific task robots, like the Roomba, the little rug cleaning robot, floor cleaning robot. Those are great. And that's the kind of robots that won't don't threaten us as much because, you know, the little Roomba can go around. It's smart enough to go around and clean.
You've not seen the glass bottom boat, have you?
The glass bottom boat?
With Doris Day
and no.
Robert Taylor.
I've seen the glass bottom boat in San Marcos.
No. The glass bottom boat's a movie with Doris Day. It was done in the 60s, mid-60s. And Robert Taylor owns this technology company that is building stuff for defense and space exploration, all that kind of stuff. Well, in his own personal home, he has this little robot that comes out and vacuums.
Right.
So anyway, Doris goes over there because Doris works for his company. Of course, he kind of likes her and he wants to get to know her and he invites her over and has this whole ruse, but I won't give it all the way. But anyway, in this one scene, she has found out that he found out that she won a prize for a banana cream cake. So he told her he loves banana cream cake. So she made him a banana cream cake and took it over there. Well, in the process, something happened and fell on the floor, and he showed her the little robot. It comes out, sweeps it up, and goes away. Well, so then in the process, that cake gets destroyed. So she says, well, I can make another one real quick. So she starts to make one, and it's in some really high-powered microwave convection oven from way back then. And it all burns. And when it pops out, and it pops out onto the floor, and the little robot comes out, and well, she's trying to pick it up, and the robot's trying to pick it up. So she and the robot get in a fight because now the robot's got her shoe and sucking her shoe up, and it's really hilarious.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
It's called The Glass Bottom Boat with Doris Day and Robert Taylor. You have to look it up. It's really, really funny.
That's
I love
hilarious.
it.
I love those old style movies that have that old style tech, it's like the...
But it really was probably the impetus for the Roomba because it has this little nose, and it's kind of designed like an old vacuum, but it's still got the hoses and all that kind of stuff. So it's really kind of funny. It's a great little movie.
Well, I can tell you, my Roomba committed suicide. Because I used to live in a 3-story condo.
Oh, that's right, I remember.
I used to live in a 3-story condo, and of course, it has sensors where it's not supposed to go over steps. When it comes to steps, a little sensor on the front that tells it not to go any further. But my little Roomba was going around the living room and got to, at the top of my steps, I had a little rug, and apparently it pushed the rug over the step, so the rug was covering the step, and the sensor didn't get triggered. And the Roomba went over, and then boom, boom, boom. I heard this horrible noise. I'm upstairs, I heard this horrible noise. I go downstairs, there's my Roomba at the bottom of the stairs in pieces. And I think, oh my God, my place was so bad it committed suicide.
Well, it was those dogs. It was all that dog hair that sweep out. They thought, I'm out of here. I'm done. Ooh, good. Escape route. Doom.
It was great, though, I have to say. And I've seen now there are other companies coming up with those vacuums, and I loved it. Shout out to Roomba if you want to sponsor this podcast.
Yeah. Well, I think our friend Dennis... Our friend Dennis has a Roomba that he uses. He loves it.
Oh, I love it.
He runs it every day, and that house stays sparkly clean.
He's a neat freak.
He's a neat freak. I'm not that clean.
And that place is very clean.
So
we'll see. I'm sure they're out there. I know there's a robot cocktail waitress I've seen for parties, and I'm sure there'll be a duster that'll come along. The problem with that, of course, is that it's going to have to be so... sensitive so it doesn't knock all your tchotchkes off.
I know.
And whatnot. But go around with a little duster, and it can have a little arm that comes up.
Well, and to be able to, my tchotchkes, some of them are kind of packed tight, so I'd have to be able to remove one individual without destroying all the others and put it back. So that's going to be a challenge. But give me a robot that could do the laundry. I remember Rosie. Remember Rosie on the Jetsons?
Yeah.
She had the laundry machine in her stomach.
Right.
That was hilarious. And so she'd put the laundry in, she'd go about her business, the laundry come out and it'd be done. And I always thought that was kind of funny, her doing that, because they had that thing where you put your clothes in it and it just came out all folded and everything, because it picked up George before he got out of his pajamas, and it pressed him and folded him all up in it on one episode. Love the Jets and stuff like that. That's kind of hilarious. It is that, you have to change with technology. As an old man, as we are, we have to keep up with it. My mom, she she wanted to get on the computer, but she didn't want to. She didn't want to learn anything, but she wanted to get on the computer.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, no, no. I said, if you're not going to learn it, because she went and somebody was selling computers to old people on TV.
Oh no.
And they were like, it was like $8,000.
Yeah.
You purchased it. The upfront cost was like $1,500, and then you subscribed to 10 years. And over the modem, they kept all your software up to date and all this kind of stuff. And they charged you like $1,000 a year or some crazy number like that. And they gave you all these learning CDs for you to play and to learn all about that. And then they had online education for you as well. And Mom bought one of these, and Becky saw it on the credit card. Because luckily, Becky was checking the cards, and Becky was writing, at that point, Becky was writing the checks and Mom was paying them. And Becky saw the credit card bill, so she could write the check and saw that and asked Mom, what was it? Luckily, she'd only ordered it like 2 weeks earlier, and it came they delivered next day.
Oh, yeah.
And so she, even out there, way out in the middle of nowhere. So Becky said, well, Mom, are you going to use this? And she goes, probably not. Well, why the hell did you order it? She says, you do realize that they're going to charge you a monthly fee, and it was almost $1,000 a year. No, a yearly fee. It was almost $1,000. So it was like $100 and something a month, or maybe it was $100, $75 a month, maybe what it was. I don't remember. And she said, well, no, I don't think so. And she goes, are you going to watch any of the CDs to learn? No, I don't think so. So let's just send it back. Well, I don't know that I want to send it back. And so finally we convinced her. Says, well, if you're not going to do it, this is a waste of money. And you're subscribed to this for 10 years now.
Good for her for trying to learn.
Well, no, she had a computer.
But yeah, I get it. That's like my dad's the same way, He wants to learn how to use a computer. And the funny thing is, he's of two minds. First, he realizes that that this is new tech and he really should learn this new technology. And he has some friends, who are online and this, and so he wants to learn it. But there's just a point where suddenly he realizes that, especially when it comes to Facebook, back to Facebook, he doesn't understand the difference between a direct message and posting on someone's wall. So I've had 2 or 3 instances where he said, well, he wanted to get a message to his massage therapist, who apparently had changed, and she now was working for a company instead of independently, and it was going to cost him more to get the massage. So he didn't like that. So he wanted to communicate with her to get to her directly, so he didn't have to go through the company to get charged more for his massage. And he was like, well, I want to get her a message, and I'm friends with her on Facebook. How do I do that? Because he was afraid, and rightly so, if he wrote on her timeline, everybody sees it. And I had another instance where one of his it was a grandniece, I think, who was doing something. She was on a play or something. She looked really cute, and he wanted to he started writing her a message on the wall of this kid, from a song, Brown Eyed Girl, I think it was.
Yeah.
Something about Brown Eyed Girl. And he started writing the words to this song. Well, it gets a little...
copy-paste!
Yeah, it gets a little salacious, I guess.
Yeah, it does.
The song gets a little Brown Eyed Girl. And I looked at it and said, Dad, now you have to remember, everyone sees this. They don't understand that you're just quoting a song, because most of us don't remember this song, Brown Eyed Girl. Well, you think it's really cute that you're messaging this cute, 15-year-old girl, but it starts to sound a little bit salacious.
When I do that, I always caption at the top after it, the author,
Right.
I credit it with whoever it is, and I always put behind it singing, and so that, and then at the bottom I put that, it's a song, and I put the title in there and all this kind of stuff, because I want people to know, just for that instance, that I'm not... because there are some songs. Now, not all of them have that, and there are lots of meaning in it. But you bring up a good point about the whole, do I direct message or put it on the wall? Because there are so many different ways to communicate with people these days.
Yeah.
There's voicemail, text messaging, there's there's Messenger through Facebook, there is email, there's, direct messaging, there are, Twitter, all this kind of stuff. And there are some people who, you got to know who you're sending it to, how you're communicating with them. Because, like, for me, don't send me stuff on Facebook that you need an answer to within the next month.
Right.
Because I may not get on there. I use email much, much, much more than anything else.
Right.
I do text, I do voicemails, and I do emails. Those are my primary ones. You want to get a hold of me, you call me or you email me or you text me. That's the easiest way. Anything else, I may not see. People Twitter. My sister, she thought she would be really cool and get onto Twitter and tweet stuff to me, and I'm like, I didn't see that, because it goes by. All that stuff goes by in the feed, and if you don't see it immediately, you don't see it. Right. So I said, you have to send me a direct message through Twitter, which I may or may not see for a month.
Right.
So, be careful on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that was the thing. When I used to be, sitting in front of a computer all day long, I could answer emails really fast. But then once I stopped doing that, suddenly, people were like, well, why haven't you responded to my email? I says, well, I only check it once a day and sometimes once every 2 days. Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like, it's a very different way to communicate.
Yeah. My policy has always been this. If you need an answer today, you need to call me.
Old-fashioned phone call.
Old-fashioned phone call. Leave me a voicemail. I will get the voicemail. I listen to my voicemails. Put it in there. If you need an answer in the next 2 or 3 days, you could probably email me, but no guarantee. You probably should still call me. If you've not got a response on your email within 1 or 2 days, then you need to call me. I try to check my email on a daily basis, but that doesn't always happen. And sometimes even like emails from you get into my spam folder that I don't see.
Right.
I won't see right off the bat. So in this age of all this communication, we really don't communicate a lot because everybody is communicating differently. So it's really like everybody's speaking a different language, kind of.
Well, it is kind of. It's a good point, in this age of multiple ways to communicate. I mean, I get it that sometimes that good old-fashioned phone call is the best way to get someone's attention, because then you're talking to them personally.
Yes.
And I've discovered, definitely with you and some other people, I use Facebook Messenger a lot because I like to share things that I find, but then I realized that you may not see it for a couple of days or at all sometimes, and so I have to be sure I bring it to your attention, or email it and then bring it to your attention or something. I mean, it is amazing that there's so many ways to communicate now that we're actually, in some ways, communicating less because there's so much information coming at us that we have to filter out some of that stuff,
Well, I can't follow all my Twitter feeds because, very honestly, I have about 10 Twitter accounts for different various reasons. And then I have, I've got about 15 email accounts, again, for different various reasons. Right. And I've got, the one Facebook and probably 4 or 5 business Facebook pages. And then I've got a couple of Instagram accounts. I've got a couple of YouTube accounts, and all these other things. So, and there's not really one easy way to monitor it all, because I'm not going to have all of that. I don't want to be sitting in a meeting and my phone pinging because somebody's posting something on my wall or tweeting something to me or something like that. Right. So, I just, when I get a chance, I will look at it. Yeah, we're getting close here. I know. We're getting close to the end. But we may go over. Who knows? It's all at my whim. I'm in control. I'm God. I'm running the control board. I get to switch. I get to do it. You did it for so many years. Now it's my turn. No. So anyway, it's it's kind of fun that we have all this, but you've got to be careful about what of what it is. I mean, it used to be the easiest way to get my attention was to put an ad on Channel 5 or Channel 8. Right. I mean, NBC or ABC during prime time. Well, only during the show because I zip through the commercials. I'm really bad. I have a TiVo. But anyway, because I watched tons and tons of television, and I listened to television a lot. Right. If it was something I was watching, so even showing something may not be there. But you know, everything else I don't. You know, I try not to limit it. But I probably get, the sad part is, I didn't delete one day any of my emails. I just looked at them, and the ones that I knew I could delete later, I left them as unread. And I had 235 emails in one day. And it's just like, oh my God. And you know, none of them business late. I need to start culling that list and getting off some of those things that I'm no longer kind of watching.
I've discovered the unsubscribe button is your friend.
Yes.
Because yeah, I had the same problem. I get so many emails because I'm easy and I'm gullible. If they say, oh hey, you'll get a free this if you do this, you subscribe to this, I'll like, yes, I want that free thing. And so suddenly I'm getting hundreds of emails every day from, I don't know, I got one recently was, now I'm getting all these recipe emails.
Yes.
And I don't really cook that often, so I'm like, no. So I've learned to, you know, just go unsubscribe, take the 2 minutes that it takes to unsubscribe to things. And even like, you know, I got on some kind of political party, the Democratic Party list or something. I'm like, I don't need all this stuff. I know there's terrible things happening. I know Trump is trying to sell our national parks.
No Trump.
Sorry. I know that there's
I need a buzzer. I need a buzzer to buzz you when you start on Trump again.
I'll get you a buzzer and you can, ooh.
Yeah. I'll be like, what was it it was Tootsie. You know, she was going to give everybody a cattle prod and you could zap him right in the badoobies.
Oh my gosh. Tootsie. So there's an old reference. You kids watching, there's no kids watching. You kids watching, go look up Tootsie. Dustin Hoffman, right?
Yeah, Dustin Hoffman and Jessica Lange.
Yeah.
Love it, favorite. And also,
great film.
Great film. Sidney Pollack makes cameos in there. Of course, he directed it as well. You know, and then my favorite character actors in there, like he played the father of the Jessica the father of Jessica's character. And I just love him to death. He's great. He's no longer with us, but I actually got to have dinner at his house. Ooh. It was I can't remember his name now.
Oh no,
I'm stuck. I have to go back. I know it.
Remember the name.
I know it. Well, I won't say, but he wasn't there. It was his daughter. I was in New York for a project, and the friend I went with, her uncle was dating his daughter. And so we were invited over to dinner.
Is this the same trip where you ran over Helen Hunt?
No, this is not. This is the same trip I ended up day playing.
Name dropping.
This was the trip I ended up day playing on for a movie that had 2 great big stars and a great big director, which was fun. Anyway, we went over to the house for dinner, and they weren't home because he was off doing a project somewhere. And you know, really nice house. Oh my God! But it was kind of fun, and I was a little in awe because he's done so much work, and you know, and it was just kind of nice being there and seeing, because he had some accolades sitting around, some of the more favorite ones, and so I got to little snoopy around and see some things.
Did you hold an Oscar?
No, he doesn't have an Oscar.
Okay, I was just like,
but actually. It was Uncle Oscar that was dating. It was Uncle Oscar who was dating.
Because, you know, our friend MB, hi MB, and I think Marty Ruggles is watching. Hi Marty. Our friend MB has an Emmy, and we got to hold her Emmy while watching the Emmys. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, well,
and
you know.
Of course, our friend Alex Vause also has an Emmy.
Yes.
And a shout out to Alex Vause. He's at NAB this week, and he's looking at new tech out there, new technology for TV.
Let me tell you, this Alex is a friend of ours. We worked for years. He never ceases to completely amaze me in his knowledge, in his creativity, in his thought process. You know, and Alex is kind of one of the guys that really hit it home for me that you never judge a book by a cover, because he, you know,
he is a genius engineer.
Yes,
I will say that.
He's beyond genius engineer, really, and he's
quirky.
He's very quirky, and you know, and his ability to really, when you say, hey, I need to do this, and in his mind, if you watch The Good Doctor on TV, you see him as he's doing a problem. They're doing all the little graphics of all the little parts, the body parts coming together, how he can solve it, and he says, I know how to do it, or whatever it is. That's the way Alex's mind works, is that he is seeing all this vision and seeing all these things come together. But he never ceases to completely amaze and astound me about how, I swear, I really honestly don't think that there's an intelligence test that could register his brilliance, because his stuff, he can rattle right off the top of his head. It's just amazing. And he did a film, a short film, and he's gotten all kinds of awards all across the country and in Europe.
The name of that film is The Big Secret.
Yes, The Big Secret. It's a documentary.
Look it up. It's a documentary about the medical profession.
I believe it's available on Amazon Prime. I've been looking for it. They got distribution.
Look for The Big Secret, I bet you'll find it.
But
he's definitely way above and beyond.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember I worked with Alex when he put in the first D1 component suite that will be meaningless to most of you.
Yes.
But it's this huge digital video. The first one in Dallas. He installed it at the Stokes Group where we were working. And, I mean, it was incredible, that thing. And, you know, there's D1, D2, and they skipped D4 because 4 is unlucky to the Asians.
Yes.
And D5, and D1 is like the high-end component digital video format. Before HD TV ever became prevalent, this was the highest format.
Yeah.
And I mean, he put that thing in, had all those wires going, and the whole thing working great. It's just very, very impressive. And I don't want to bore you all.
Oh yeah, and he built and installed the audio board that I started working at KERA with. I mean, he put all that stuff together and actually built and constructed. You would think a cabinet maker had made this component desk and everything. I mean, and he hit every detail. This was I honestly thought that they had gone and purchased this somewhere. I didn't realize that he physically constructed this whole desk and the whole 9 yards. It was just unbelievable. But he's brilliant. And he's got another short film in the works. And I'm going to leapfrog. I have my short film. Save the date, April 19th. We're launching our campaign for funding on Indiegogo for it. It's called Love, a short story about a long relationship. And we'll be sending out, to save the date, information. So y'all, if you follow me, you might think about it, contributing. Here's the thing. If I could get every one of my Facebook friends and every one of my Twitter followers to donate just $3 each, I'd have enough money to make the film.
There you go.
Because there's that phone.
Okay,
oops,
here's the big money coming in.
Here's the big money coming in. I have a pledge. I'm gonna have to turn that thing off. I'll have to remember that next time.
Thank you for calling Our2Sense.
That phone never rings unless I'm working. Other than that, it never ever rings. But I see that it's just ringing off the wall tonight. We've had 2 calls in the last half hour. That's probably the same company.
Probably is.
Looking for me. I'm hiding in plain sight here. Anyway, hey guys, this was a great experiment. We did live. We're going to try to do more live as soon as I get this phone to quit calling. And unfortunately, I'm tethered in. I can't jump back there and turn this thing off.
Well, I'm going to put it on my checklist now.
Yeah, put it on your checklist. Silence the phone.
Roll the cameras.
I silenced my phone. Anyway, we're gonna do more of this live stuff, and it'll be on YouTube. And I'm gonna try. Yeah, I gotta get my hair cut. I didn't get my hair cut today or anything. I gotta do that next time. But we're gonna do more live stuff and Our2Sense with Paul and John, and it's gonna be great. We're gonna have fun. I've got his pee ordered. You know, I've got my J behind me. He'll have his P. You know, PJ, peanut butter and jelly. That's where you can think of us. But hey, if you have any questions, you know, email us at excuse me. You can email us at questions@our2sensepodcast.com. Again, that's questions with an S at our, the number 2, sense, like common sense, podcast.com. I answer all the questions I get. Honestly, I don't get that many. But if you agree or disagree, if you disagree with something, tell us. If you have a topic, send it to questions. Let us know if you have a topic you want us to unwrap. And we're just gonna keep going. This is just another kind of leapfrog.
If you don't send us topics, we're gonna talk about Trump.
Oh God, please send topics. Please send topics. We don't want to talk about Trump. No, that's too big of a target. Anyway, so thank y'all for watching in this case, and we're gonna post an audio feed as well. So because the audio feed goes out to a lot of other places and everything.
And
so
I got to notice that we were live, so if you subscribe, cool. I guess.
If you subscribe to my YouTube account right now, you'll all get notices that I'm live, so it's really kind of fun. Okay. And that's probably what the phone calls are from. Hey, I see you. Yeah. Maybe I'll have to pull it over here. Maybe I wonder if I can jack it in as an audio source and say, hey, cool beans. Who knows? Anyway, so thanks everybody. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate you listening, and we appreciate your time. We've done 66 of these, or 67. I got to go back and look. And we are going to, you know, keep doing it as long as we can, because frankly, we have fun. Yeah. As long as it's fun, we'll keep doing it. So thank you all very much. I'm going to stop the streaming now, and